Hi everybody, thank you for joining me in this video today. I'd like to share what spring energy is in Wing Chun and how you can do it yourself. There's a lot of misconceptions on what spring energy is. First, I'd like to show you what spring energy is not. You see a lot of people play the Chi Sao like this. Compressing, decompressing, compressing, decompressing, right? Might look like spring energy, might feel like spring energy, but it's not spring energy. We're compressing and decompressing, compressing and decompressing. Well, if I feel him and we're playing Chi Sao and I feel him decompress a little bit, I'm coming straight in on him. He's compressed, decompress a little, anywhere you want, I'm gonna come right in on him. Okay, so real spring energy works like this. It's the spring pushing the object, right? The spring's pushing the object, it builds a compression load, and then it releases. Now, if you've seen my other videos on pushing without pushing, there's a more detailed explanation of this. But if you haven't, no problem, because it's a real simple concept. So again, the spring itself is pushing against the object, and if it doesn't meet a whole lot of resistance, it only compresses a little or not at all, and it moves the object. If it meets a lot of resistance, then it builds this compression load and releases. That's spring. So why do we need spring energy in Wing Chun? Now, a lot of families do Chi Sao different ways. One thing we can all agree on is we have a sticking energy, where we stick. There's a following energy, where if a person comes in, you follow their energy and you still stick. And the other is forward energy, which we know in Wing Chun, as soon as we touch hands, we want to start sending a little bit of forward energy, and we don't want it to be with our arms, we want it to be with our body. So it's coming from our legs and our body. So the reason we need spring energy is this. Say I'm playing hands with somebody, and I need to get into a better position because he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, I have a weaker position. I have to be able to maintain forward energy while my arm is retracting. If I just simply retract my arm to reposition, he's going to come forward. Right? I retract my arm. Whenever you feel me retract my arm to reposition, come forward. So, if I'm going to retract my arm, I have to be able to send forward energy while I'm doing it. So with spring energy, I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit. I'm out here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my arm come in while my body goes forward. So as my body goes forward, give me a good stick. I retract my arm and he moves back. Again. So before I've even sent any energy at him, I can get this better position. If my arm is extended, I can come in, and by sending the forward energy, I can reposition my arm. So we need spring energy so that we can send positive energy from a negative movement. So a negative movement would be me bringing my arm in and sending energy forward. So without spring energy, it just comes back. But if I come at him with spring energy, while I'm repositioning my arm, I have control of him. This is important, to be able to send forward energy while you're retracting your arms in. Here's another illustration. This is a positive movement, this is explosive energy. So if I send a straight punch, that's explosive energy. If I push him with spring energy, it looks like this. I'm starting from an extension. As I step in, I'm retracting in a negative motion and sending positive energy. So if I put the two together, negative energy and positive energy. So it's spring energy with a little bit of explosive energy. So here we are playing. Now instead of this compression and decompression, when I play using spring energy and I move him around a little bit, It's a spring energy in my body. So even when my arms are pulling back, I still maintain that sticky spring and control. When you perform a strike with explosive energy, what happens is, for that second, it creates an opening inside the person. Take the spring energy, which is the recoil energy. So once I strike, I'm getting this recoil energy coming back. So basically what I do is I punch, and that recoil energy, instead of it just coming away, I stick to him. And as I stick to him, I send that energy into him. So it looks something like this. Feel that? Mm-hmm. So in slow motion, it's the explosive energy, the recoil energy, and then explosive energy again. So it's like a three-phase. So you might say, all right, where in the forms, in the system, can we see spring energy located? Or where's the idea or the concept or the principle of spring energy represented in the Wing Chun forms? Okay, so here's where it's represented. You've been practicing it since day one. This retracted movement is spring energy represented. Watch. So this movement of the Wu Sao coming in is a representation of spring energy. So another way to look at spring energy is this. Say we have, in a pharmaceutical drug, we have one compound, two different drugs. One drug is better than the other, but it's the same compound. How could that be? One has a better carrier or a better delivery system. Think of spring energy as exactly that. It's a carrier for your force that you're going to use on the person. So when I'm moving him, when I have to retract my arms, I can still keep forward energy. So even if I collapse my structure completely, I can collapse it completely, but because I'm sending forward energy, I still have control of him. And the good thing about forward energy is this is what makes all Wing Chun techniques work, right? If we just stand here and I do the gambit of techniques, so with standing here, executing those techniques, if my opponent's doing forward energy on me, and I make a mistake, when you feel me open the center to do a technique, just come forward on me. If I make a mistake, it's unforgiving. He's going to come right in because he's going to feel an opening. With forward energy, Chung Chi is the name for the spring energy that we do. And if you notice, it's coming from the legs, not from me leaning on him. A lot of Wing Chun guys like to lean, and in a way you can generate spring energy by leaning, but however, look at your torso is not straight anymore. You're bent over, and that's really bad. You want to be able to generate this by maintaining a forward structure. So even if my technique is maybe a little off because I'm coming forward with the forward energy, right, it's a little more forgiving. So even if I make a mistake, I'm still going to probably get that technique through. Here's a drill to practice spring energy using a punch, but you're going to be pushing with the punch. So first you're going to start close to the person, and you're going to use your regular pushing energy. And now, every time you step in from this position, you're going to let your arm come in. As your arm comes in, stick to him, see he moves back. And now I push him out, and I have negative energy coming in. Now you can take any punch. So even if you say you're not a Wing Chun practitioner, any punch you want, here we are. I'm here, I step into him. See, he's moving. I press out, my arm comes in. So I should be able to always send him back, no matter whether my arm is pushing out or if it's coming back here, I'm still sending him back. No matter what I do, I should be able to send him back. So I'm pressing out, he's going back. Comes in. So in other words, if I'm reloading for a punch, I got my opponent, we're in here, I need to reload, pull my arm back to a punch, but I don't want to disengage and break contact and break control, so I can come back. So this way, you can use the stick with the spring energy while you're controlling it. All right, so watch this before. I'm not going to send the explosive part, I'm just going to come in. That's just the retraction part, before this was even sent. And the good thing, it kind of supercharges your strike, because an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Sure, and what that means is it takes less energy to get him to move him back when he's already moving than if I have to start from standstill. So once I use this negative movement, he's already moving back, right? So to send more energy, even less work on my part. Step into the dummy, punch, and just stick to it. Punch, just stick to it. Now punch, and let the spring energy compress. Punch, let the spring energy compress. Then when it compresses, you can release it. Sending forward energy. Now, with this drill, you're going to focus on the retraction part of the chain punch. So if him and I meet in the center, and he comes forward, and I want to retract my arm to send a chain punch, and I don't get into a better position, his arm's going to come crashing into me, right? So the only way that I can do this and get a good punch and create an opening in the center line is by getting a better position. So using spring energy, I maintain the stick, and as this punch comes in, I can bring my arm in and get him moving already. So with the chain punching, focusing on the negative phase of the punch. So he's got to pull his arm in, stick to me, make a hole, and come in. I see his arm coming, I'm going to punch, and then he pulls it in. I see this coming in, some contact, so you're slowing the drill down, and you're maintaining the contact. You're feeling the stick on the arm, right? You're feeling the stick, you're letting your arm come in, create the opening for the strike. Now, I'm going to use different strikes. The only thing he can do is react with chain punching, all right? And let's see how he does. So he's got to focus on the negative aspect of the chain punch, the retraction movement of the chain punch. See the stick? See the stick? Just hold your out there. Hold your arm out. Here's the stick on me. I feel it. I feel it. Just give me a firm. I feel it right there. It's firm, right? So if I want to bring my arm back to reload, the only way I can do it, again, is stepping in with the spring energy, and I can reload my arm. So when you practice your chain punching, start slow, meeting the arm, and then feel his energy. Have your partner just kind of come in, freeze it, and then you want to work on getting a better position by maintaining the stick, maintaining that spring forward energy, so that you'll be moving him as you come in and as you send the chain punch out. So in the spring energy drill, if you watch my other videos, how to push without pushing, and how to open a door with elastic potential energy, because that's what spring energy is, elastic potential energy. Let's say Norman is a door. Start pushing doors open whenever you can with a fist. Push the door open like this, let your body come in, and just push it open. the faster you move towards the door, and you can contact it light. The faster you move, the easier this is to do. It's amazing. But even when you slow it down, stop, feel a compression, and just walk towards it. It's like you're against the wall, you're leaning on the wall, and you're pressing your body weight into it, and there's this fixed level of compression that happens with your body weight. Just like doing a push-up on the floor, well, it's the same thing. So when you do the punching drill, think of it that way. It's your body weight going into the person. So when you open a door, use your knuckles as if you're punching, use any kind of punch you want. Just come in and feel that you're not sending positive force out. Just let the door move back, or the person move back with negative, retractive motion. People have a hard time relaxing when they play Chi Sao. They have a hard time putting their body weight into it. So make believe you want the person to hold your weight. Let's say I'm so tired. So I'm going to play hands. You just keep your stance. Now it's like, well, I can't. Norman, just hold me up. I can't stand. Oh, I can't keep my stance. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. Oh, so I'm relaxing my weight into him with the stick. And I'm just imagining that he's got to hold me up because I can't stand. So I'm not even using muscles. Oh, geez, I'm dizzy. I can't. Oh my God. You know, I can't stand. So think of that as well. Thinking, I want you to hold me up from this part of your arm, right? I just taken all my weight and I put it to one spot. So when we're playing Chi Sao, you can think of it the same way. Where we have this connection at the wrists, right? I'm just relaxing into him the same way. Just relax. Okay, so that's another little trick you can try and see if it helps you relax more. This is how most people play the dummy. This is a garden variety wooden dummy form with explosive energy. This time I'm going to play the Jong form a little slower using spring energy. So hit the arm, I want to feel the compression. When I do the Bon, I want to feel the compression inside my arm. And when I strike, I want to feel the strike, the recoil, and the release. So if you notice, with the Quan Sao, it comes out, engages, makes contact, compresses, releases. When you play the Jong for spring energy, you want to slow your techniques down and feel engagement, the compression, spring, and the release with every movement. So slow the movements down and really feel the strike, the recoil, and the release. Thank you for spending this time with me in this video and watching Spring Energy. I didn't make this up. I got this through direct transmission from my Sifu, by feeling the way he plays arms, by watching the way he moves people. He hardly takes any steps, but the opponent ends up dancing. So as soon as there's contact, with the person, you should be able to control him with this kind of sticky spring energy in any direction you want. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video.